Hello YouTube, Professor Kadra here. This is Piping 102, Packing Basics. Before learning specific packing methods, it helps understand what we're trying to accomplish with packing. Most packing methods are simply different ways of achieving the same goal. Packing is, of course, the process of loading tobacco into your pipe. The goal is not to cram as much tobacco as possible into the bowl, but to create an environment where the tobacco can burn while air continues to flow through the pipe. The goal is that a properly packed pipe should stay lit reasonably well, draw comfortably, burn evenly, require minimal correction, but no packing method can guarantee a perfect smoke, can maybe only improve your odds.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but packing's one of them.
Packing's one of them. Airflow is one of the most important concepts in pipe smoking. If air cannot move through the tobacco, then you're going to have a hard time smoking that pipe.
Yep.
A good draw should feel easy and comfortable. A pipe packed too loose, very likely to burn too quickly, very likely to burn hot, require frequent tamping. It's going to be a shorter smoke, and it's usually easier to fix than too tight. You can simply compress it and solve that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Too tight, it'll be difficult to draw, might require excessive puffing, it might go out frequently, very likely to produce excess moisture, which is a definite enemy. One of the most common beginner mistakes is packing too tight. I'd like to say that the best way to pack it is as much as you can get in there without it affecting the draw. And so you just simply test the draw as you're packing, and you'll be able to maintain that airflow.
Yeah, one little interjection I told, Rob I asked him, how do you pack it? And that's kind of how he described it to me, as much as you can without it affecting the draw. And I mean, I guess everyone's kind of inclinations might be different, but when I first got into pipe smoking, I had read that you want to, don't overpack it. And, which I guess you still don't want to. But so I ended up for honestly a couple of years probably packing my bowls a little bit too loose. And I was relighting very often, because if I just kind of gone with my instincts, you don't want to overpack it, but there is too much and there's too little. So if you might read that a lot, and maybe you're inclined to pack it too tight, in which case don't overpack it, but you might be inclined to pack it just right, and then you're kind of trying to err on the side of caution and ended up underpacking it too.
Right. Yeah, it's very easy to overcorrect one way or the other. It's important to note that different tobaccos behave differently. So the same method might not exactly work well for one cut, ribbon, flake, coin, plug versus another. So you may have to find a different method for each particular style.
I find that hard to understand why, because when you have a flake or something, and if you rub it out to what's essentially a ribbon, I guess it could be slightly different, but it's how much rubbed out, I guess it is, right? Is that really what it comes down to? If you fold and stuff, I could see that having a different sort of method altogether. But if you're dealing with ribbon in the end, or something like it,
when you get it down to ribbon, it basically then it behaves about the same,
right?
And then
I guess it even varies with ribbons how big each individual strands are.
Yeah, the strands.
Yeah.
Some advice is just, packing is a skill, so it's going to take practice, and it's not something you're going to have mastered right away. The more you do it, the better you'll get.
Yep, definitely.
And make adjustments as you go. Use the feedback that the pipe gives you as you're smoking about whether it's too loose or too hot. Do the next bowl a little bit better. Common beginner mistakes: packing too tightly, chasing perfection, assuming relights mean failure. Remember, they're normal, part of every bowl, just about. Packing is important, but it doesn't need to be complicated. Focus on the airflow, focus on a comfortable draw. Everything else becomes easier and by experience. In future lessons, we're going to cover the individual packing methods, but they're all just different ways of applying the same principles. Until next time, thanks for watching.